If you were feeling tired of searching through your waiver wire, trying to find the next breakout player to no avail, I don't blame you. I have a lot of those same feelings in a majority of my leagues, but it doesn't have to be that way. In this video, I'm going to highlight some players that are floating around on your waiver wire right now that have the upside, the potential, the juice to kickstart us out of this early season lull and refuel us back into those waiver wire warriors, always hungry for that next breakout. And no, I haven't forgot about my missed punishment last week, even though that hangover literally tried to destroy my weekend. I'll have it later in this video. Make sure to stay tuned, don't miss it, especially if I screwed you over some fab or waiver priority. As always, I appreciate everyone tuning back in. You guys are legends, thank you. And if you're new here, I'm Chris, the potentially greatest wiffle ball player of all time, and this is Number 2 Sports. First up, we have the exciting rookie pitcher from the Athletics, Gunnar Hoglund. Now, Gunnar, besides being destined to be a professional athlete with a first name like that, has produced 2 quality outings in his first 2 starts in the majors this year. Now, if you guys are already like, oh, this guy was already picked up a week ago, you're a week late, you shouldn't be highlighted in this video, maybe you're right, but with rookie pitchers especially, I like to see at least 2 starts or take a full deep dive in them, because usually that first start they can be so jacked up on adrenaline and nerves, so that first start can sometimes be a little misleading, but it's always nice to see them replicate it in the next outing. So if he's already long gone in your league, I'm sorry, but I'm including him now after he went 5 1/3 with 3 strikeouts against a red hot Mariners lineup who've been pounding the baseball 1 through 9 lately. Only 5 of his 18 balls hit in play were considered hard hits against the Mariners, and in 2 starts now, he has 10 strikeouts with just 1 walk over 11.1 innings so far this year. He's got a fastball that hovers right around 93, 94 miles per hour, which isn't ideal in today's MLB. It's okay, but you see now a lot of these high-end starters are pumping mid-90s, high 90s right down people's throats. But what he does is he makes up for it with this vertical rise that gets a great whiff percentage, 27.3 on the year so far. He follows that up with a changer, sinker, sweeper, slider combo, which gives him the full arsenal to be able to get through that lineup the dreaded 3rd time, because he's able to keep hitters off balance, he's able to keep them judging what's releasing from his hand, and he's not just going to get absolutely shelled on that 3rd look like a lot of these lower end starters tend to do. His changeup is great, and that seems to be his pitch of choice to put batters away so far this year, evidenced by his 23.1 put away percentage, and I can see why. It's nasty. Just look at how far this thing breaks down inside on a good right-handed hitter in Ramirez. He just has no chance on it. If he can locate this pitch, it's practically unhittable. And if we're pumping up the changeup, we got to give a shout out to this sweeper. Just look at this pitch. From the release point on his hands, it looks like it's going middle. The hitter's probably thinking he's getting a nice piece of cake, and then bam, ends up a foot outside the zone. Just silly. I also think that start against the Mariners could have been a little bit better. In the top of the 5th inning with a runner on first after a weak hit to shallow outfield, he went down to tie his shoe. I guess he blacked out, forgot he was pitching in an MLB game. Guy stole second, a little bit embarrassing, and then the next hitter up, he just juiced one down the center, and the guy pinned an RBI double. So for sure with that mishap of him tying his shoe, made him lose a little bit of his focus there, and just cake one down the center. So if he's still available, I'd recommend going and scooping him up. And I'd almost say he's a must roster if he has another decent outing against a dreaded Dodgers lineup his next time on the bump. We're staying on the rookie train with my next recommendation of Cade Horton, Chicago Cubs starting pitcher. Cade is on his way to the big leagues, but unfortunately his first start comes against the Mets this weekend, so hopefully that totally doesn't backfire on me. He was the Cubs' first round pick in 2022, and he struck out 33 batters over 29 innings, giving up 4 runs and 12 hits in AAA this year. He has a mid-90s heater, an impressive slider, and these are the 2 pitches that he leans on heavily. He's thrown them 88% of the time so far this year. He has a curveball and changeup, but as you can tell, he's a little reluctant to throw them so far this year. He might get away with a 2-pitch arsenal for a little bit in the majors, but if he wants to be a consistent starter in this league, he's definitely got to incorporate that changeup, definitely got to incorporate that curveball, and get a 4-pitch arsenal at the minimum to keep hitters off balance. The only other issue can be his fly ball rate. He only has a 31% ground ball rate, which is not good. You can get away with it in the minors that aren't going to punish you if they're constantly getting the ball in the air, but in the majors, people are a lot stronger, a lot better hitters. A lot of those balls are going to start flying out of the park if you're constantly getting them hit in the air. This guy also oozes with athleticism. He was also recruited to play quarterback for the Sooners as well. Even though he didn't get any playing time, it still shows off how quick of a learner, how quick he's able to adapt in new surroundings, just based on being a dual threat athlete. He's going to try and pound that strike zone all night long, just like he's throwing quick slants over the middle of the field. If he's available, I'd definitely consider taking a look at him. See what he does against the Mets. He's got a nicer, softer landing spot the following outing against the Chicago White Sox. So I'll definitely be interested to see how he does there if he gets a little lit up by the Mets. Because again, the Mets are a great lineup and it's a real tough spot to make your major league debut. I think there could be some long-term potential here, and the Cubs desperately need another starting pitcher. Next up, we have someone who's making me think the zombie apocalypse is happening, because he's resurrecting his career from the dead. Javier Baez from the Detroit Tigers. Again, this guy's probably gone in all competitive leagues already, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on him. I did want to touch base though, because he's swinging a ridiculously hot bat. He's went 16 for 38 with 3 home runs, 15 RBIs, and a steal. I'm obviously a little skeptical of this because he was downright awful. Awful the last 3 years. But you can't discount the fact that he was really good for a long time in Chicago. And Detroit paid him a boatload of money to be that type of player. I'm not saying this is a guaranteed career resurgence or anything, but it is keeping in mind that he did and he was that player and flashed all those tools for many years in the highest level of baseball. Maybe he's magically starting to live up to that huge contract. I doubt it, but you never know. You can pick him up while he's this hot and ride him, but the second that he goes through a prolonged slump, don't be afraid to cut him and move on. Next up, we have another exciting young pitcher with some electric stuff. It's Smith-Shawver from the Atlanta Braves. He definitely has the potential to be a high upside strikeout player, but he's a splitter first pitcher. Yes, splitter first pitcher, which is very unusual. And I don't even know if you want to call it a splitter. It looks like some weird knuckleball slider that has some floaty butterfly movement that hovers in around 80 to 82 miles per hour. And he throws it so much. It's legit his primary pitch this year. And I can't blame him. It's getting good results, but it just shows you that he doesn't really have confidence in locating his fastball at all. And that pitch can tend to get pretty hammered, but it's not even comparable to his slider. Like, he legit just has to stop throwing it this year. It's been that bad. It has a -5 run value on 29 pitches, getting hit hard 66% of the time. He definitely needs to shelve that thing, work on it in practice, work on it in the offseason before he starts incorporating that back into his arsenal. So really, he has an average fastball and a plus splitter, or whatever you call that, and an okay curveball. For him to take the next step and be more consistent, he has to get that curveball going though. And he can. He's still a young kid. He's only 22 years old, figuring it out in the majors. Because with this weird, technically 2-pitch arsenal right now, where his secondary pitch is his main pitch, it can lead to abundance of control and walk issues, and it has for him. Still, not many guys with the raw strikeout potential and upside as him floating around on your wire. He's worth stashing on the bench for the pure upside to see if he can make some adjustments, make some tweaks, and actually get some use out of his fastball slider and get some value of it, which in turn will help him keep that walk rate down, keep that ball in the park, and turn him into a more consistent fantasy starter. He's definitely still a risky starter for mixed leagues, and I don't buy that start from the Reds really at all. He threw some absolute muffins down there that the Reds should have punished, and they didn't. I don't believe what all these other people are saying about him. I'm not the biggest believer in that funky splitter or whatever the heck it is. I need to see a little bit more from him. He has the raw potential there, the raw talent there, but I just need to see him bring some more things together before I'm going to trust starting him in any of my leagues. This is definitely a deep league ad, but Sidney Sweeney's been so freaking hot lately, Trey Sweeney has been swinging such a hot bat lately. So Trey is a shortstop on Detroit Tigers, and I know it's another Tigers player, and I know they just had 2 insane series, one against the Angels and then one against the Rockies in Colorado, where they were just pumping the ball out of the park in both of them. I'm highlighting him now though because it looks like he's finally carved out an everyday role for the Tigers after being in a platoon role to begin the season. And like I said, Detroit has been racking up runs and hits lately, and I know they were just in Colorado, so some of those stats may be inflated a little bit. But at the end of the day, you still got to put the bat on the ball, still got to make good contact. because we are in the MLB here. He was on a 7-game hit streak going into last night against Texas, where it unfortunately ended, but during that streak, he was 15 for 32 with 7 RBI and 2 home runs. He also had 2 multi-hit games in there, one with 4 hits and the other with 3, which is awesome. And you have to remember, this was the guy that was acquired in the Jack Flaherty trade at last year's deadline, and even though he struggled last year, I still think he has the potential to be a 2020 guy. Again, he's only 24 years old. He hit 19 home runs and 22 steals between 143 games of MLB and AAA action last year. His max exit velocity is over 110, his strikeout rate looks manageable, and his walk rate is good. 3 solid building blocks for a young hitter to have. He's pulling the ball a lot in the air right now, which usually leads to quality hits. I'd like to see how he does out of the next few games out of Colorado, but if he keeps hitting, he's definitely someone to take a look at, especially if you need middle infield help. Okay, for these next 3 guys, we're just going to quickly touch base on them, not go into a lot of detail, but here's 3 quick hitters for you. First up, we have a guy riding a 16-game hit streak right now, and that's JP Crawford, batting leadoff for the Red Hot Mariners. If you need hits and runs, you can do a lot worse than JP on the waiver wire right now. And I know that year in 2023 definitely looks like an anomaly right now, but if you can do it once, you can do it twice, right? At least that's what my buddy Gil always tells me. He never gives up. Love you, man. So yeah, definitely worth a look if you need shortstop right now. And man, the Mariners look good. Let's go, boys. Next up, we have Vince McMahon, the greatest WE promoter of all time. And he's a starting third baseman for the Colorado Rockies. No, but seriously, Ryan was probably dropped in a lot of your leagues. I know he was dropped in a couple of mine. But again, this guy's been solid over the past few years, and he plays half his games at Coors Field, which is obviously a huge bump. He's definitely prone to some hot and cold streaks, and he definitely just went through a nasty cold one, but it looks like his bat's heating up a little bit. Again, he's not going to blow you away in any categories, but he can be a solid player in 12-team leagues at the hot corner. Also, don't forget to check out my previous video down below. I highlighted a couple guys coming off IL very soon, like Kershaw and Heel. They need to be rostered way more and stashed in more leagues, especially Kershaw, because if he comes back and has a great outing, all these guys, everybody's going to be talking about him and pumping him up, and he's probably going to be gone, or you're going to have to bid up unnecessarily for him. Colt 45 and 2 zigzags, baby, that's all I need. I need Mr. Colt in my life, bro. You know I couldn't just do 2 Detroit players. I had to get that trifecta. And like I said earlier, all these Detroit guys are absolutely mashing right now, and Colt absolutely pimped one 450 feet deep right the other night. I can hit a wiffle ball like 10 feet inside. So like, that's insane. This guy's been on my watch list all year, so I'm finally starting to get some action on him. I'll do more extensive write-up next week if he continues this outside of Colorado. Again, like I said with some of these other Detroit guys. I want to touch base on him because if he keeps hitting, by then his roster percentage is going to skyrocket, and he's going to be like one of these guys earlier that are like 50% owned now, and he'd be like, why are you mentioning it? This guy's already being picked up a week ago, blah, blah, blah. So I'm putting him in here now. And lastly, for my token RP player, why are people dropping Justin Martinez? The guy is a stud. I know his last couple outings were shaky, but he is clearly dealing with an injury based on the fact he's on the IL 15 right now. But he himself said it shouldn't be longer than the minimum stay, or maybe just a few days after that. Do not drop him. He's so good. He has nasty stuff. He's almost under 50% owned in Yahoo now. He'll be a great source of saves, Ks, all year. I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing here. Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll take the L if so. Okay, we're gonna try something a little different here. We're gonna add a shallow league segment, because there's times when I'm searching on Yahoo, ESPN, or whatever, and I look at these guys' roster rates, and I'm like, why are they so low? They should be bumped up way more. So all these roster percentages are gonna come from Yahoo. So first up, we have Jacob Wilson, only 53% rostered, which is crazy. Like, if you are in need of hits at all, he should be close to 70, 80% rostered. He's going to single-handedly try and carry you in hits each week. I get depending what type of league you're in, depending what type of scoring you're in, but if you need hits, he's like a must-own guy. Next up, we got Victor Scott, only 39% rostered, and sort of similar with Wilson with hits. If you need steals, this guy's got to be on a lot more rosters. His bat's starting to heat up again. And again, he just needs to get on base. This guy's like the fastest man alive. Next up with Jonathan India, only being 45% rostered. Casey's playing so great lately. He's batting at the top of the order, right in front of Bobby Witt and Mr. Sasquatch. It's a very valuable spot to be in. He should be on a lot more teams. He's going to have great hits, great counting stats. And he has 2-bag eligibility. And we all know how hurting that spot is this year. Okay, Wilson Contreras. Why isn't this guy 100% owned? Like, what catchers do people have that aren't him? Like, unless these leagues are like 4 or 5-man teams, and that's making up the difference. But he needs to be 100% on. Reese Olsen, 63% rostered. Guy's looking like a stud lately. That should be up in the 70s, 80s for sure. Zach Neto, 72% rostered. This guy's a top 10 shortstop. This guy's a dog. He's balling out. He should be universally owned. Jonathan Arando, breakout player this year, only 48% rostered. What are people doing? Why isn't this guy on more rosters? I don't know. In the 80s for sure. Jose Alvarado, only 77% owned. Plays on one of the top teams in baseball, has that closer spot locked down. He's going to have so many save opportunities. This should be higher for sure. The guy is nasty. Kershaw, I know we've touched on him a couple times in this video. His roster rate's too low. He's back next week, most likely. Everyone's discounting him for one bad injury-riddled year last year and discrediting everything he's done over his entire career. I'm not going to write him off that quick. I need to see some stuff and see physically that he just can't do it anymore. Nick Kurtz, only 26% rostered. There's no way that there's guys with more upside, more talent, more potential than him that could at least just be on your bench if you don't want to start him. I don't buy it. And then Bubba Chandler, again, I've been harping on him for a couple weeks now. This guy should be way more rostered. He's like the top stash in all leagues. He has ace potential. He could be a legit difference maker. I think he's going to get called up in May. He needs to be universally owned pretty much.
That shallow league segment got me hungry. Just got to mock a burger real quick.
Next up, we got the recap segment. We're going to go over my video posted up almost 2 weeks ago now. See how they do. Again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail of this. We're just going to quickly touch base, see if they're good, bad, see if I have a punishment, see how they're doing. So the first up was the stash before he was supposed to come back from IL, which was Zach Gelof. But unfortunately, he has a stress reaction in his ribs. So his AAA stint rehab was completely shut down. And we haven't got an update on when he's going to be back. Hopefully it's in the near future. I still have hope for him whenever he does come back, but this is definitely not good news. So next up, we have Chandler Simpson, that exciting prospect out of Tampa Bay. And this was definitely a recommendation anyone needed steals. He has this weird slap hitting type style of hitting that's completely gone in today's MLB. So for the last 2 weeks, he's got his 10 hits, 4 steals. Not good, not bad. I'd like to see him get on base a bit more. But overall, I still have some confidence in him. And in general, I'm hoping that he does good. So Agustin Ramirez went through a nasty cold stretch where he went 1 for 24, but he snapped out of it in his last 4 games, collecting a hit in each one of them and also popping a ball over the fence. And kind of like how I said in the video when he started off insane, that it obviously wasn't sustainable. But if you need catcher help, he's definitely worth a look. He's a young kid. He's still got all the nice tools to help him be a productive player at the MLB level. Next up was Reese's Pieces, Reese Olsen. And man, he's been so good lately. In 3 of his last 4 starts, he's played shutout ball. His strikeouts are up. Everything's looking good. It looks like he's bringing it all together. Young kid, maybe finally figuring it out. This might be the breakout that people are hoping for. I think he's going to be a solid starting pitcher the rest of the year out. And last up, we had Mr. Skywalker, Lucas Giolito. And man, that second start back was terrible. All his velo stuff was down. Again, I was worried a little bit. I touched base on it. That first start back from injury or like a rookie pitcher, they can be so juiced up on adrenaline that everything just gets bumped up a little bit. And his stuff was down and he got pummeled. So I need to see how he does in this next start tomorrow against KC. If he bounces back, I'll still have some faith in him. But if he gets shelled again with his velo still way down, it could be a yikes. Could be a big L.
Here we go.
I think this is probably going to be super messy, but I'm giving it a go. No judging here. So I think that's it for this week's video. I appreciate you guys hanging out, having a few laughs, talking about baseball. Hope all your leagues are going well. Hope you're dominating. And if you're liking this content, make sure to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video. Hope everyone has a great week. Take it easy, and I'll see you next weekend.